All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. My name's Taylor with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we're going over referrals. Feel free as we go to answer. Oof, guys, clearly I need more coffee. All right, to throw any questions you have in the chat. I also just put our email address in there for you, so you can write it down if you want. That way, if I miss any questions, you can always email us so that we can get those answered for you. We can take a look and troubleshoot your system if you think something's not working properly. So we're going to start by logging into command. So agent.kw.com. All right. And first thing we're going to do is actually go to our Connect profile. This is the profile that other agents will see if they find you in the referral network. So under your name in the upper right-hand corner, we're going to select profile. And that brings you to this page. So you can post here, but this main information is going to be what other agents see. So if we edit profile, some of this is already going to be pulling from specific areas. So you have your first and last name, and then we have other contact information, your service areas, and then there's a section for your biography. This can be the same as all of your other profiles, but since this is an internal profile that only other KW agents will see, you could tailor this biography to be more aligned with agents reading it rather than potential clients. So that's up to you, but I do like to highlight that. And then there's a section for links to your other profiles for social media. And then this is the main thing I wanted to show you guys. You can opt in or out of the referral network. So if you are opted out, so this is toggled off, that means that other agents, when looking for you in the referral network, you're not going to be able to be found. Regardless of how they search for you, they can still find you in the white pages. So if they're just looking to find you and contact you, they can still do that. But in order to be added to someone's referral network, you'll want to make sure that is toggled on. And then you can choose what stats show on this page. So if I had all of these toggled on, I don't have any stats, so it should look different, but you'll see years with KW, which is this main one here on the bottom. So as you get into production, that's going to show differently here, so that all of your production is visible again as other agents are looking to connect with you or find referral partners in different areas. All right, once this information is up to date, if we go back to the main command page and then referrals, I'm going to click here on the KW in the upper left-hand corner, so that pops out the name of each of the menu icons. So this is your main referrals dashboard. So anyone that you've connected with already or added to your referral network will appear down here. So if you're new, this probably looks empty. Or even if you're not new to KW, but new to the referral section. Here with each dropdown, you can see kind of the entire overview of the profile we just looked at for each of those agents. So you have location, you can start to see the bio and the contact information. And then over here in the middle is kind of the statistics for this agent. It gives you the average, but then the stats for the last 12 months. And then you can add a note here. Now, if you add a note, this agent does not have access to see what you wrote. It is private for you. We do get questions about that often. And then let's say you work with someone, it looks like they're starting to add some stats over here about your referrals with this person. So if you send referrals back and forth and have closed deals, you'll start to see those here as well. And the option to remove them. So maybe you added them to your referral network, but they were not, in your opinion, a good agent for your client. You didn't have a great experience, or I don't even know, you just don't need them in your network. Maybe you have too many partners in one area. You can always remove them. You can also add them to your favorites list, which you can then filter by. You can also add a tag, which is really whatever you want. Maybe this person mostly works with buyers. So you can add a tag so that you can then filter quickly. Or you can directly start your referral request directly to this person right here. As you go to fill those out, we selected to send it straight from the contact right here. But you also, if you hit new referral, will then have a completely blank page where you select someone from your network. And then the type of referral, your desired referral fee. You can set a deadline for how long this agent has to accept or counter your referral request. So let's say we want to give them 2 days. There we go. And then any information regarding the buyer, so their price range if you have it, or any notes. Maybe you have specific property information, like maybe looking for a condo or something. You can add those there. And then this is where you can select contacts information. So if they are in your database already, that's going to pull in the information based on your contact that's in the contact section. You also have the option to create a new contact. So if they're not in your database already, you can enter all of their information. Their current location, desired location, and you can skip some of these. You'll notice where the required information is. Contact information, and you need at least an email address. That one is required. And the transaction timeline. So when they're looking to buy or sell. And if you do create a new contact, this will add the contact to your database as well as send the information to this individual. This is also kind of an overview of what you have going on in regards to referrals. So we have any pending invitations, either sent or received. So if someone sent you a request to join their referral network, those would be here. Or if you have any outbound invites, so if you sent any invitations out, same thing with referrals. So rather than an invite to join their referral network, if you actually have referrals being sent to you or you're sending them out. And then you'll also have an overview here of referrals that are sent and received that have been accepted rather than pending. I did forget to mention at the beginning when we went over the profile is if you're a brand new agent, we often see that that profile can take up to 2 weeks for KW to fully launch. So if you're getting an error that you don't have access to that yet, don't panic. That is pretty typical. If you see that after you've been active for more than 2 weeks, let us know. We may need to reach out to KW on your behalf so that we can see about getting that launched. And then you also have these other functions here where you can track your referrals. So if you're looking for specific referrals or trying to gather information about how many are being sent out, you can look for that. Growing your network is a way to search for agents to add to your network, which we're going to also go over in the map section. And you can filter here or sort, excuse me, by alphabetical or reverse alphabetical first name or last name. So if you're trying to, I don't know, look at your list in any specific sort of way, or you want to sort them differently based on how you search, you can do that. And then as well as the manual search here. So if you start searching, you'll have people that are in your referral network pop up here, but then it's also going to pull random people from agents that are not in your network. So if you're looking for someone, just like you can use the map to grow your network, you can always find them by searching their name here. And if they're out of network, hit the add to button, and that's going to send an invite. And then if you click on the star over here on the right-hand side, That's going to filter by anyone you have favorited. So that's kind of the main dashboard page. If you go to My Referrals, this is another section where if you clicked on either of these, mine doesn't look very fun, but that's going to take you to the section where you can see the referrals you've sent out or received. And it defaults to pending just because that's where like this order goes. But you can click on each of these or all to see what is in each of these sections. And then I'm going to skip map and come back to it, but my network is just kind of a longer version of what was on the main dashboard page. So this is where you can see your entire database of contacts in your referral network. And with each one you see, without dropping down the menu to see most of their profile, you can quickly see if you've sent any referrals back and forth and their location. All right, now we're going to go to the map. I like to spend more time on this section just because there's so many options. So the default for searching on this will be production. So we get a lot of agents that email us and ask why they can't find themselves once their Connect profile has launched and they've finalized that. They come here and try to search either here or over here. So I just like to clarify, searching over here filters based on who shows up on your screen. So as I zoom in to an area that narrows it down enough, we'll start to see agents that are appearing in the section I'm looking at. If you search over here, that is trying to find someone in this list. So if you're not here, based on how you're searching, you're not going to show up over here. The other thing is, if you search production, and let's say I try to find an agent, even though I know this agent has production, it's searching by location. So that's not going to work. So what we recommend, and this is just for trying to find yourself initially, you can default to Market Center and then change this new drop-down menu from city or zip code to associates. And then, even though I have no production, I'm able to be found. So now you can see my contact information. If you're on a team, that will be listed here. Any languages that you speak, and then your agent stats. And you won't be able to add yourself to the referral network, but let's say I wanted to add someone else. So I still see team and contact information and her stats. Now I have a button where I can do a quick ad, send an invitation so that she can join my referral network. Or even if she's not in my network, I can directly from here send a referral. So her name is selected, and then we specify all of this same information we did on the last one about our client. And then there's also a section here for you to add the client information. However, this information is kept hidden until the referral is accepted. So if, let's say we send the information over for this referral, but this agent doesn't want to send a referral fee, they do not have access to the client information in order to, not that agents do this, but to prevent anyone from trying to take the client information, reject the referral request, but then contact them and try to get them as a client without the referral. It looks like there's someone in the chat that's having a hard time hearing me. So I just want to see it. Could one or two of you make sure that, like, put in the chat if you can hear me okay? Or see if it's on my end. Okay. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't talking to no one. Okay, and then there was another question I want to make sure that I don't skip over since I see it. What if the market center under my information does not match my real information? I'm trying to process the question. So if you are looking at your profile, like this contact information, oh, for that, I'm going to say email us so that we can make sure. We actually have a transfer questionnaire. If you haven't done that, we go in after getting the information and can help make sure all of your profiles reflect the correct office. And if you already did do that, we can go in and double check to make sure that your information gets updated if it was overlooked. Because you're welcome. Who defines the size of the referral fee? You can ultimately request whatever. The system is not going to prevent that. But for your area and your office, we recommend contacting your broker in charge of your office if you have questions about that. We typically see anywhere between 20 and 25% as like a standard, but how can I change my last name? There are several sections that may not be able to be updated by the agent's side. So when we first looked at the profile, you noticed that your first and last name couldn't be edited. That's pulling from a different area. So we recommend reaching out to us. We can help make sure it's updated throughout your entire profile, and anywhere that we're not able to, based on that access, we can help reach out to KW support so that they can change it on their end. All right, so now going back, just wanting to look at it. So when you zoom into an area, you're gonna start to see different dots show up. So when we're under the default production, each of these is going to represent a property that's been sold, either buyer or seller, any property that's been closed on by a KW agent. And that's one thing I did forget to mention at the beginning of class. Referral network within Command is only between KW and KW agents. There's not going to be any other brokerage agents that show up in this system. So for that, if you're referring out to a broker at an agent at a different brokerage, you're going to want to do like the normal referral agreement that your office has and following that process, and then creating like an opportunity for that referral and that kind of thing. So once let's say you're looking for a referral agent in a specific location, like a specific neighborhood, the closer you zoom in, you're going to see agents that work in the specific view of your screen. So it's just going to be more specific. Let's say also that you don't know any of these agents, but you know that your client wants to look in this area. You also can broadcast the referral. So once you're under, I believe it's 50 agents, you have the option to broadcast it. So any one of these 43 people will have access to it. So your name, and you can choose whether or not these agents can see you, or it can be anonymous. And then you have, again, your information about the client and what they're looking for. And then you connect your client's name. But again, your information, until the referral is accepted, then they're not going to get the information. And then when you send a broadcast, it's going to tell each one of these agents that there's a broadcast referral in their area. And then they can go in and look at the referral fee and the first section of stats and price range. And they ultimately will then respond whether they want it, or they can just ignore it and pass on it so that another agent will have the option to. So that's pretty cool if you wanted to do that rather than spending the time looking through the stats and trying to find the best person. You can also search market centers. So I find this helpful if you know someone who is wanting to get licensed and you're trying to connect them to an office in their area. You can search and find that information. You can also see people in your referral network and where they're at on the map. And then referral patterns, I think, is pretty cool. So based on your location, you can actually see patterns of where referrals are being sent to from your office. So these are the top 4 locations. People are moving from Vancouver, Washington, to Bend, Oregon, Boise, Idaho, Clackamas, Oregon, or Gig Harbor, Washington, and they're all at 2%. And then these are additional locations. And you can also click and look at that specifically. So with each of these, looking at Vancouver to Eugene, Oregon, you can also then see from this location where those top referrals are being sent to. Oops. You can also see the referrals of people moving to your office from additional areas. So then let's say now you have a location where you can go back to production, zoom in, and try to create different connections based on those patterns if you'd like. So it's just another step that may help connect to other people so that they can be easily connected to, or you can be top of mind if they have clients moving to your area based on those patterns. All right, guys, I know I went through that. I tried not to go super fast, but there's just a lot of like repeat sections that all kind of go over the connect together. So I am going to stick around in case more questions pop into the chat. Otherwise, if you don't have questions, feel free to hop off and take back like 20 minutes of your day that you didn't know you were going to have. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. And again, if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm also going to put our email address in the chat again, just in case I missed your question, or if you have to reach out for something more specific to your system, then you can do that as well.